Good morning, students. Today we are going to learn plain chudidar. This is the look of the garment for your plain chudidar. Unlike your belted chudidar, for your plain chudidar you will not have a separate belt. As a whole, this is your plain chudidar. Plain chudidar doesn't have any belt. Now, the measurements required for your plain chudidar are chudidar length, hip round measurement, knee round, knee to calf length, calf round and ankle round. These are the measurements required for plain chudidar, and these are the measurements for standard size 10. Now, before drafting your plain chudidar, we have a standard formula for your crotch depth, that is 1/3 of your hip round measurement plus 2.5 centimeters extra for ease. This is the standard formula for your crotch depth for plain chudidar. Here, instead of your hip round, you are supposed to substitute your hip round measurement over here, that is 90 divided by 3 plus 2.5 centimeters extra for ease, that is 32.5 centimeters. This is the crotch depth for standard size 10. Now, before starting the drafting of your plain chudidar, you should calculate all the construction steps of your plain chudidar. These are the construction steps for your plain chudidar. So, before starting your plain chudidar drafting, you need to be ready with all these construction steps. Now, let us start the drafting of your plain chudidar. This is the draft of your plain chudidar. Now, first of all, as I told you earlier, you need to draw one perpendicular line. For any drafting, you need to start with a perpendicular line. Draw one perpendicular line using your 1/4 scale, and then step number 1. 0 to 1 downward direction is nothing but your plain chudidar length, which is 100 centimeters for standard size 10. So you are supposed to measure 100 centimeters. 0 to 1 downward direction 100 centimeters. Use your 1/4 scale in centimeters to measure this. And step number 2. 1 to 2 downward direction is 20 centimeters. These 20 centimeters extra we are taking for gathers at your hemline. So 1 to 2 downward direction 20 centimeters. And step number 3. 0 to 3 outward direction, that is towards your right. 0 to 3 towards your right, that is nothing but 1/4 of your hip round measurement plus 7 centimeters extra for gathers at your hip line. So 0 to 3 out will be 1/4 of hip plus 7 centimeters, that is 29.5 centimeters for standard size 10. Now, from point number 3, square down with a dotted line. Draw one perpendicular line from point number 3. And now 0 to 4 and 3 to 5 both are one and the same. 0 to 4 downwards and 3 to 5 downwards is nothing but your crotch depth, which we have initially calculated, that is 1/3 hip round plus 2.5, which is 32.5 centimeters per standard size 10. So now measure 0 to 4 down and 3 to 5 down as 32.5 centimeters, which is your crotch depth for standard size 10. And then join 4 and 5 with a straight dotted line. Now, from point number 5 to 6 outward direction 5 centimeters we are taking extra out for shaping your crotch. Now 5 to 6 outward direction is 5 centimeters, and then X is the midpoint of 3 and 5. X is the mid of 3 and 5. Measure 3 to 5 and take the midpoint of 3 and 5, that is at 16.75 centimeters, 16.25 centimeters you will get the midpoint. Now join 3, X and 6 with a smooth curve using your French curve to shape your crotch. Now 7 is the midpoint of 4 and 1. Here, this particular 4 to 5 line represents your crotch level, and point number 1 represents your ankle level, where your actual chudidar is ending up. So, in order to locate your knee, you have to take the mid of your crotch and ankle. So, 7 is the mid of 4 and 1. Measure 4 to 1 and take the midpoint of 4 and 1, which is point number 7. From point number 7, square across with a dotted line. From point number 7, square across with a dotted line. And this particular level represents your knee level. And now, along this particular level, you are supposed to measure half of your knee round measurement, which is 36 centimeters by 2, which is 18 centimeters. 7 to 8 outward direction is 18 centimeters, 18. And 7 to 9 downward direction represents your knee to calf length. Knee to calf length, which is 14 centimeters per standard size 10. Now measure 7 to 9 down, 14 centimeters, and from point number 9, square across with a dotted line. And now this particular level represents your calf level. Here you are supposed to take half of your calf round. Now 9 to 10 outward direction will be half of your calf round measurement, which is 34 by 2, 17 centimeters. 9 to 10 outward direction is 17 centimeters. And along your 2 line, you are supposed to measure your ankle round. Here, this particular line represents your ankle level. So, here you are supposed to take half of your ankle round measurement. So, 2 to 11 outward direction is half of your ankle round measurement, which is 24 by 2, 12 centimeters. So, 2 to 11 outward direction towards your right, measure 12 centimeters. Now, join 6 and 8 using your French curve with a smooth curve to shape your inside leg seam. And from point number 8, join 10 and 11 with a straight line using your scale. This particular line indicates your inside leg seam curve. And then from point number 0, measure 0 to A upward direction. Upward direction 5 centimeters as well. 3 to B upward direction 5 centimeters. These 5 centimeters we are taking extra for casing in order to form a loop for your drawstring. And then join A and B with a straight line. This particular 0A, B, 3 represents your casing for your drawstring. And coming to your ankle level, here 2 to C down and 11 to D down is 3 centimeters, which is for your bottom interns. In order to fold and stitch at your hemline, we are taking these 3 centimeters extra over here. So 2 to C down and 11 to D down are 3 centimeters, and then join C and D with a straight dotted line. And done. This is your draft for your plain chudidar. Once you are done with your drafting of your plain chudidar, write down the pattern information. And here 0 to 1 line represents your on fold line, and plain chudidar is in bias grain line. Name of the pattern plain chudidar, size 10, and cut 2 pieces. This is the drafting for your plain chudidar.